Hi everyone, it's Dominique Barbie here, and I am super excited because today's lesson is something that really was a big part of my life. It has been something that I have been striving to help people realize, and it's basically a scenario of successful people versus unsuccessful people. And it really is the shift of the people who are dedicated and committed to doing what it takes. And a little bit about me, if you don't know this, I was struggling. I don't know if you heard the story where I was 8 months pregnant and I was sleeping on a beanbag. I didn't have a bed. My husband couldn't afford a bed. We had to throw away our bed, and I was sitting there crying, and my heart was burning because I started to believe that I was meant to be poor. I was really in a bad situation, and I needed money, and I just started to ask God pretty much like, I understand that I'm supposed to be poor because you have a will, and you made poor people and you made wealthy people. And I said, I'm gonna love you anyway, and I'm just gonna be grateful for what I have now. And I believe that that moment of gratitude, of just being grateful that at least I have food and water and I could feed my kids, even though I was on government assistance, I think that moment of gratitude was a huge release in my life. So it's important, no matter what you're going through, there is something to be grateful for. Even if you look around your home and you have clothes and you have water, there are people who don't have arms, there are people who don't have legs, and they do not have some of the things that you have. And there are have been people who have become wildly successful in worse situations than you. So just really take the time to just be grateful and understand it's an act of a release into the universe, and it's a basically a universal law to bring you more. When you're grateful for the little money you have or the money that you have, if you have a lot of the things, you begin to attract more. And that's when I really realized gratitude. Fortunately, I was awoken out of my sleep by a rumbling voice, and I believe it was the voice of God. And it said, get up, and go help my people. And I went to the computer and I said, I'm going to figure this out. So, no matter what you're going through, just know that you can do it. If others can do it, so can you. Now, let's go over person B or marketer B, okay? Now, they're very aggressive, as you can see the sad, the angry face. They're aggressive with their selling, okay? They usually spam their links everywhere. All they really care about is selling. Whether a person needs the service or product or not, they'll promote anything if it benefits them and makes them a lot of money. They don't care whether it's a real valuable product. And I remember I used to just do things just to try to make money, not even using some of the products. And I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. I only promote things that I believe in, that helps people get results, that has integrity, that can change people's lives. Okay. But this person, they don't really care. And they don't care about helping people. They just want to throw their link down people's throat. And they have a goal, but they're not where they want to be. So for example, they want to make $10,000 per month. Obviously, people have different goals. Some people just want to pay for their children's tuition. I'm just giving an example. And these two people started out the same way. So person B is like this. Okay, and I'm going to show you person A. So person A is very value driven. They they feed off of more value. Okay, they want to help people. They want to really show people that they are out to help them. They're purpose driven. They have a purpose. Okay, and they're really focused on helping people. These people get way better results. They're also excited about life. They're excited about their business. They have fun. They're not all down and out. People may run them the wrong way, but they still are excited and they make sure they have fun every day. They're not dreading anything. They're deciding to be grateful and be happy in their business instead of moseying along. And like the person B, they don't want to recruit, they don't want to talk to people, they don't want to do anything, they just want to make the money. And this person is resourceful. They find mentors, courses, they search on YouTube, they do whatever they have to do. And they in the same situation. So they, let's just say person A and person B are in the same situation, right? As far as they don't have support and they do it anyways. Okay. So these two people, different mindsets, but they both have the same situation. I'm gonna go over some things. So, person B, they don't have any money, right? But they get a side job. So this is person A. So just remember the person. This person is a person who's driven. Okay, they don't have any money, but they go get a side job. They borrow it. They get PayPal credit, whatever they have to do. Okay, to get the money to join the program or whatever it takes. They say, "How can I find a way?" Person B usually says there is no way. There's no way I can do this. Okay, me personally, I didn't have the money when I first started online. Like I said, I was pregnant. I didn't really have money, but I called my family members. I started to search how to sell things on Craigslist. I started to do whatever I needed to do to come up with the money. And a big inspiration for me, what I saw one day, this lady, she's a foreigner. She was making like 50 cents an hour, and she came up with $2,000 to join a certain program. And she has went on to make over $500,000. So my thing is like, if people do, or if you're willing to do what it takes, you can achieve anything. If you're willing to make excuses, it's going to be hard. This person also, they look past excuses, they don't make excuses, and they focus on the solution. If you can't overcome your own problems, how can you help others? You know what I mean? And this person focuses on required action, the successful person. I'm talking about the successful person. I put person B. Some of these letters are off because I was confused myself, like which one is A or B? But you get the picture. So here is the ladder of success. As you can see, this guy, he's climbing up a ladder. And as you can see, they each have steps, right? So each step is an action. And when you get to the top, you reach your goal, your $10,000 per month, your 5,000, 3,000, whatever your number is, or whatever your goal is. But you have to go up each step. And what's happening is people get to that spot where this man is right now, and because they don't see any results, or because they have the wrong mindset and they're not doing whatever it takes, they start saying, why am I not making any money yet? What's going on? And they just get sidetracked. But the person who's a successful person, they understand it's a process, which is those steps. And they keep every day, they walk up these steps by doing the required action. They're generating leads, they're building their audience, they're focusing on building relationships, while the other person is just posting ads and hoping somebody responds. If they don't generate any leads, they just go to sleep and say, oh, maybe we'll try next time. So it's a big difference. So person B, they want to get the goal in one step. Okay, they want to skip every step. So you see that ladder? What they basically want to do is get a special cape like a superhero and just watch everybody else taking these steps, going through the process, and they just want to fly up there without doing what everybody else had to do. And they say the leaders make all the money. They say stuff like, only the people at the top make the money, but they didn't see those leaders taking those steps every day, sacrificing time with their family, sacrificing hours on their craft, learning how to master the skills. They don't see that. They just see all of the money that the successful people make, and they just say, can I just skip past and not do anything? You know, and they just want to get one step, or they try and they try and they try, and if they don't see results in 30 days, they'll quit, and or they'll move to the next program in like a snap of a finger. And you have to understand something. If you're not willing to build a business over 6 to 12 months doing the right required actions, you really don't deserve to be a 6 or 7 figure earner, because all of the 6 and 7 figure earners had to go through that. And they don't tell you this because they want your money. A lot of them, they don't really like to talk about what I'm talking about, because they really just want to take your money. They just want to tell you like you're going to be instant success, which some people do become an instant success. Not instant, but like, faster than others. But it's not sexy, so they're like, they don't want to talk about it. And they always ask what's the cheesy fast route. So person B, they're always asking like, what's the fastest way to do this? And if you do even tell them a faster way, they're like, but what is the another way? And I used to be person B, and I had every excuse. I would say I would be jealous of the successful people. I'm like, how is they making all that money? And it was just really bad. And my mentor told me if I wanted to be massively successful, I had to change my mindset. And even though they both have full-time jobs, but when they get home, the person who is successful, they work late at night. They sacrifice a couple hours of TV and fun stuff to do the required action, and they are very productive. And the other person, they say they have a job, they don't want to sacrifice their family. They say, I don't want to sacrifice my family time. And it's like you can sacrifice an hour or two per day. You don't have to be with your family all day. You know what I mean? And let your family know and have a conversation with your family like, I'm doing this for us. I'm sacrificing 1 to 2 years of working and doing what I need to do so we can have holidays every day, birthdays every day. But the other person is like, no, I don't want to do that. And that really doesn't even make sense. It's like you want to do what you have to do for your family. And it's faster than 40 years of working a job or 4 years of getting a degree. Like this is the faster route. And you want to, take that time to sacrifice that so your family never has to worry about college or never has to worry about all that. And they have way more family time. You can even hire people once you become successful to do the work for you. You have to give up some things. You have to understand that. So the other person, they says they the person who's successful, they say they don't have skills, but they're going to learn it. And I remember when I couldn't recruit to save my life, and I didn't know how to market to save my life. I used to literally pray for signups. Like I thought that I had to pray to get signups. And the best thing that I learned that made me so happy was that marketing is a skill. And that just lit up my world because I was like, oh, okay. I thought that people who were successful just woke up and they were just masters at it. I really thought that. So, but what I found out from the courses that I went through, I started to realize a lot of these successful people, they started out really bad. But the difference was they started to learn the skills. They would buy courses. It's a pattern I started to see, and they would learn every day. They would get better, just 1% better, 1% better every day. And over compounded time, they began to become really, really good. So, for example, the Miracle Social Media system that I'm in right now, and I'm also in ClickFunnels, right? The successful people, they start studying. They see that, okay, I need to learn how to build a funnel. I need to learn how to build a capture page. They take one step at a time and then they practice one step at a time and they practice some more. But the person who is unsuccessful, they say this is too much. They look at all of the training, they look at everything, and they say, oh man, this is overwhelming, because they're not taking it one step at a time. They're trying to go through all the videos at one time without even doing anything that they learned. Okay, the successful person, they go through one video, okay, they take notes and they say, okay, how can I apply this today? Okay, I'm going to apply this, I'm going to practice, and then I'm going to practice the next day. Okay, let me go to the next subject. Let me take notes. Let me apply this. How can I apply this? And then they start sharing their results and everything. So they're every day they're getting better each day. They're thinking more long term. They're thinking like, wow, if I get 1% better every day, if I take one step at a time, in a year I'll be 365% better, and I'll be way ahead of everybody else. But the unsuccessful person, they're thinking like, okay, I'm going to go through all this in 30 days. If I'm not making money, I did all this and I did all that. Really, they didn't even do much. They think they did a lot. They think that hard work is what they think is hard work. Most top earners think is like little work. Like they think if they posted 10 ads for the day that they worked so hard for the day, like that type of thing. And it's like, what? you know? And you have to think about it. Do you really feel that if you post 10 ads a day, you should make $10,000 a month? Think about what you did for the day and just ask yourself, do I deserve $10,000? Do I, in 30 days, the people who quit, if you ask them, like, do you really honestly feel like you deserve $10,000 in your first 30 days? Just ask them and just say, would you pay someone $10,000 to do what you did? It doesn't make sense. Okay. So the successful person, they're learning the skills like getting traffic. They're learning how to get conversions. They're reading the books and audios. It's kind of like college in a way, but you don't have to take 4 years, right? You don't have to take 2 years sometimes. You can literally change your life in 6 to 12 months, in my opinion. I believe anybody could be a six-figure earner in 6 to 12 months. Okay. And I believe that people can make $1 million in 2 to 3 years. And it's like college. Don't When you go to college, don't you have to read books? You have to learn the skills. Don't you have to do that? But why is it then when people come online, they think like it's just supposed to come, they're just supposed to have their skills that they have now and just make it. They feel like they just go through a few videos and then now they know exactly what to do to be a millionaire. But it's more to that. You have to become more of a person of value. This is why so many top earners do personal development. They read the books on how to change their mind. What's how billionaires think, how millionaires think, how successful people think, how to manage the money, how to get sales, how to be a marketer, how to do attraction marketing. They're learning all these things just like in college, right? You have a professor, you have your books, you're reading, you're getting better, you're learning the skill. That's pretty much how it works. Ask any 6 or 7 figure earner, do they read books? Do they listen to audios? They go to events, they go to the seminars, they're hanging around successful people. Unsuccessful people are hanging around negative people. They're not going to any events. If you tell them to invest in themselves, they're like, no, I don't have the money for that. But yet you see them online clubbing and eating out and doing fun things. And it's like, what? And they see weaknesses and decides to get better at it. The successful people, they know that they have weaknesses, but they just make a decision. I'm going to get better at this. And I just told you a secret. Everybody starts off sucking, but if you work at yourself, on yourself is your greatest asset that people take for granted. Their mind. If you work on your mind, if you work on your skills, if you work on taking action, you will get better. You have to keep pushing. And I used to suck at marketing and recruiting, like I said, right? I used to suck at creating funnels. I didn't know what I was doing, but every day I got better. I remember logging into ClickFunnels and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do I build a funnel? And I began to go through the training. My husband, he would be like, go through this video. My sponsor would be like, go through this video. I'm going through it. And over a week of just practicing and practicing, I got good at it. I started moving faster. I started getting better. Just the creating the funnel part. But the unsuccessful person, they just look at it and they're like, "This, I can't do this. Like, I don't know where I go." It's a big difference. And getting prepared so when big moment and the big money comes, they can be ready. So as you're working on yourself, you're going up the ladder. The ladder is the process. You got to understand. Think 6 to 12 months ahead. If you're getting better at all of these skills over 6 to 12 months, it is impossible for you not to be successful. The problem is where people are not focused. They're over here, they're over there, they're all over the place, and they're not getting better on the core skills. And when you come into the miracle system, we're going to show you what are the exact things that you need to focus on, because that you can get confused out there with all these things going on. But there are certain things that are called required and necessary action. There's certain skills that we teach you, and these are the main ones to focus on instead of giving you things that you don't need. And if you focus on those, you will be successful. Every day I felt I know this process will work. I kept pushing, I kept walking up the ladder. You have to have the mindset that I'm going to figure this out. I am going to do this. I don't care what happens. Okay? So let me go back to the beginning because I skipped some. So, all right, the unsuccessful person, another thing they do, they say, I need to see it before I believe it. And I used to be like that. That's a huge disempowering stance. And I really want you to read Straight Line Leadership so you can understand what a stance is, because it's literally what makes the world go around. It literally creates your reality. They think, I need to see it first. Like they say, I need results. Okay, both person A and B, they started off with no results. But person B is like, I need results first. I need to see results first, or this and that, right? I need to see it first. But you have to understand that nothing happened first. Like the airplane, the Wright brothers, they weren't like, we can make a airplane because we saw it already. It's here. No, they thought in their minds, we believe it because we have faith, and that's seeing things before it happens and operating in a way that you're moving in a way that you know is going to happen, and you're doing the things, the required actions, as if it already happened. Unsuccessful people, they look at their situation right now and they base that off of whether they should take action or not. They are usually sad about life. Okay, we all have our sad moments, but person B, they soak in their sadness. They talk to their friends about it all the time. They talk to themselves about it all the time, all the while saying that they want to make $10,000 per month or 3,000, whatever their number is. But in order to have a 3K income or a 10K income, it happens before it happens. It happens in your body, You begin to be happy because you know the future every day. You begin to stop thinking about things that you don't want. The more that you think about things that you don't want, the more you attract it. So every time you complain, every time you're sad about something, every time you just start getting depressed about your situation, you're literally eliminating the the goodness. And I had that problem too, and even in my marriage because my husband was broke. I was really, really sad. I was depressed because my father worked so hard. And to end up, I said to myself, even before I got married, I said, am I gonna marry about for love or am I gonna marry for, or should I just wait to fall in love with somebody who has money? I literally remember that. Like seriously, all jokes aside, I remember that, guys. And it was such a hard situation to think. It was so sad. It was just like I'm gonna marry for love because I saw it in the movies. I'm like I'm gonna marry for love, and then I got married. I'm like, oh my gosh, love does not pay the bills. Like I had to figure out how to pay the bills, and like I literally had to provide for my family and my husband by myself, and that's really depressing as a woman, and it's really hard because I was young and you know how it goes, guys. But I kept pushing and I'm grateful for the situation now because I believe honestly that that situation was the thing that put my back against the wall. I was tired of being depressed. I was tired of crying every day. I was tired of not being able to go on dates because if I had to go on dates, I had to pay for it. I was really tired of arguing with my husband about money. I was tired of seeing him play games all the time and hang out with the wrong people. And I was working online, so I was starting to read Think and Grow Rich. I was starting to do personal development. So I just decided to work on myself. I decided to be happy anyway. I decided to do whatever I needed to do. It motivated me so deeply because of the sadness that I had of what I went through. It motivated me to do whatever I needed to do because so I can provide for my family. I just decided that I'm going to do whatever I need to do and then I'll focus on, you know, my marriage later, to be honest. I was just like, look, I need to figure myself out because I began to realize you attract who you are. And when I met him, I was broke. He helped me get out of another relationship. And that situation, I was just like, because I attracted that. So it wasn't really him to blame, it was myself. You attract who you are, and it's so important. And I learned more about myself. I learned to love myself. I got better, and I worked on myself. And once he saw me change, he started to change. So you have to understand, like you can't blame anybody for your situation. I'm actually grateful that I went through that hard and hurtful situation because I was so hurt that it pushed me to do what other people wasn't willing to do. And that person B, they keep saying that they don't know what to do. They always say they don't know what to do. They always say, they don't know what to do. What do I do next? They'll literally watch video and say, wow, this is a great video. This is good training, but what do I do? Like, it's like it went right past them. And they don't do anything about their situation. They don't like their situation, but they're not mad enough to change it. They speak a lot of overwhelm all the time. You hear them say they're overwhelmed all of the time because they're not taking steps one step at a time. They're looking at the all of the things that they have to do. They're looking at all of the ladder steps and they're like, oh, this is overwhelming. Right. And then they're doing multiple programs. A lot of times they're doing this and doing that. And it's like they're just completely all over the place. Sometimes they know what to do. Sometimes they know what to do, but they won't take action long enough to see results. So a lot of times they'll know what to do, but they really don't do it. Like they'll know that they need to, for example, get their marketing out there, but they don't really do it. They'll know that they need to build relationships, but they don't really do it. They'll just post ads. They know that they should at least try, maybe making a video, maybe sharing their screen while they're talking without even showing their face to just start that process, but they won't do it because they don't want to get uncomfortable, but they want to make uncomfortable money. $10,000 a month is uncomfortable money. It's not the normal. You see what I mean? You have to deserve to make money online. And I'm not saying this is hard, guys. It's really not. It's a matter of copy pasting, learning some skills, maybe doing this here, maybe doing that. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying the hardest part is really the mindset of the person. And a lot of times, person B is not coachable and they keep doing the same thing, whether their mentor tells them to do it or not. So their mentor will tell them to do this, this, and that, and they'll do that, that, and this. They'll do like maybe two pieces of it, and they won't do the rest. Or they don't have a mentor. They refuse to get a mentor to take the shortcut, and they're just not coachable. They don't want to take action, and the huge difference is the action. So, like I said, these two people started out the very same, very, very same. Okay. So, like I said, they didn't have any money. They didn't have everything that they needed. They both didn't really have support. But the thing is, like I said, the person who's successful, they do it anyway, ways. And literally 3.5 years later, my husband finally came around to like trying to and starting to do things, more things with me online, and he's turning around and all that stuff. And it's getting better and better every day. Like I said, um, if you can't overcome your problems, how can you help other people? That's the ladder. It's super important to remember that ladder, and you cannot fly past this ladder. You have to take the step. That's how you get to that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month. I seen this guy make like $300,000 in 30 days, but nobody saw the times where he was mastering his skills. They just think like it just happened overnight. All those people, and a lot of these top marketers are really laughing at the people at the bottom because it's like they're taking advantage of people because by not telling them like to work the process, and then it's confusing them because they think that they're supposed to get these results, and then the program is the problem. Sometimes people are in bad programs that not bad, but like their vehicle is really, really, really slow. And then it just depends. So So, like I said, they both didn't have results, both didn't have time. They both didn't really believe in themselves at the beginning. Um, yeah. So when you don't have any results, what you have to do, that person who's successful, they're gonna start leading with content. So all these things that you have to learn, you should use it to your advantage, is what I teach people. So every day when you decide to work your business, you learn something and you implement it. When you implement it, you should receive some type of results, whether you started to generate a lead, whether you had an epiphany, whatever it is, then you go, as you're building your audience, you lead with content to attract people to you to learn and start attracting people to you to, and while you document and share through your whole process to overcome and what you're doing to get better, etc. Like if I were to start all over, I would start reading the books and doing all these things. And I would start just sharing with people as I build my audience, which you're gonna learn. I will start sharing it with my target audience, my process. Like, wow, guys, I'm in this program. I'm learning this. These are a few tips for today. I want to show you guys. I learned this, this, and this, and I highly recommend that you get this, right? And the person who is unsuccessful, they're like, I don't have any results, so I don't really know what to post. And like I said, nobody starts with the results at first. Help yourself first and showcase what you're doing and just simply recommend the product. You just showcase, like if you're in a weight loss company, you just start doing things. You start documenting like, okay, I was frustrated. I tried to do my weight loss thing. I cheated and this, and now I got back on my product and it's helping me. I'm starting to lose more weight again. You just documenting your journey. That's really how you do it. And I remember my mentor, he just started showing people the things that he was learning. And he would say, I learned it from this. And he would have tons and tons of people, join him. Person A believes in mission, realizes they will do it until and taking steps up the ladder. They have a mission and they're not stopping until they hit their mission, and they're going up that ladder, taking their steps, knowing that at the end of that is their goal. And then they hit that goal and they're super proud of it despite of the circumstances. The more things that you're going through right now, it's your obligation to get through it because there's people who are going through the same thing. And if you overcome it, you're going to help them. And the successful person, they usually think about those people. The unsuccessful people, all they think about is their self and what's their problems. But they don't think about if they don't get their mind together, they're going to cause a lot of people to not meet them and be helped by them. If I would have just took my situation and said, "Oh, I got a no good husband. Oh, I don't have no money. Oh, I don't have any assistance. This and that," and I would just kept saying that, and I didn't do whatever it needs to take, how can I be able to help the women who may be going through, a relationship in the same situation. Maybe they're in an abusive relationship. Maybe they're on government assistance, or men too on government assistance. Whatever it is, if I went through my situation, then how could I have told my story to help these people, right? So person B, the successful people, they're proud of themselves, and because all of their circumstances they had, they did it despite of everything. Out of everything that happened, the more that you go through, the more proud you're going to be in the end. All right, this unsuccessful person, they're just consuming. They may watch the videos, they may not, and they just watching everybody around. And if they don't like what one mentor says, they move on to the next thing to see if they can find someone who will give them the secret, who give them the easier route without having to get uncomfortable, without having to go up the steps of the ladder like everybody else. It's kind of selfish. It's like we go through the steps, but they just want to skip everybody. Like, I'm going to cheat, everybody, let's race. But while everybody's not looking, I'm going to cheat and walk through the whole field and pass up everybody. That's how they think. So they start saying, once they see the people who started with them, right? Remember, they started off with the same situation. So the unsuccessful person, they're after they see that person A and person B, they both started out, let's just say they're friends, and they started off the same way. And then they'll see their friend having so much success, and then they'll start making excuses, and they'll say, did somebody give you like a cool car so you can use? Or they'll say, how did that happen? Why did you have that success? Do you have other supportive friends? Because I didn't have any support. They'll say it must be something else, or they're younger than me, or they'll say they're pretty, and they'll say that I'm ugly, so they have better results, or they'll come up with all these outward things except themselves. So they'll say all these outward things except themselves. They will not, they will not admit that it was them. Now, if you are anything like person B, you have to ask yourself, are you taking the required actions? Okay, some of the most successful people have the most challenges, and you can even look at Oprah. Okay, she was raped and she had a baby, and I think it died or something, and she ended up being the first African American billionaire. And there were several people like who else? That guy from Dumb and Dumber. Okay, I remember his story. He even put on a thing that he was gonna make $5 million, but he was super poor. He was on Dumb and Dumber. He's that funny guy. It's a shame I can't think of his name right now. What's his name? He was on The Mask. He's super funny. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. He was dirt poor, and wow, he ended up making $5 million. He said it before it even happened. And he said that some people know about the law of attraction, and they think that they just think about it and feel it and think about it and feel it, but they can just go and eat a sandwich and it'll just happen. No, the way that the law of attraction works too, if you don't know this, you what you feel, what you vibrate as is what you attract. And when you're taking action, you're vibrating. You're vibrating. You're vibrating. When you start to do the things of a successful person, that's a vibration. It sends a certain vibration to the universe. It's like, whoa, whoa, boom, 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 right? And that is part of the law of attraction, but nobody really talks about it like that. They just say, oh, you do all this woo-woo stuff, you just wake up and feel it and you speak it, which I believe in all this stuff. I do it. I'm a very huge believer on the law of attraction. It changed my life. And but for me personally, doing all those things in the mornings, doing my miracle mornings and teaching people, which will change their lives too. What happens to me is when I do those things, it causes me to take action. It causes my reticular activating system to activate, and it starts attracting people, places, and things that help me know what I need to do. And I don't worry about how I need to do it. I allow it to, but I still seek information on what I need to do, what I need to learn, who do I need to align with. So it does not matter what your circumstances are. It is really boils down to your thinking. There's a certain way that you have to think to be a successful person. And I used to hear people say it's a mindset thing, right? It's a mindset thing. Wealth and poverty is a mindset. And when they first said that, I'm like, that's mean. So they're pretty much saying that my brain is messed up or like my mind is off when I was poor, you know? And I'm just now as I start to read the books and learn, I'm like, whoa, my mindset was definitely different. I remember the way that I used to think. I remember not even thinking. Like when I read Think and Grow Rich, I was crying because I really was just going about my day, not realizing my thoughts. I was completely unaware of my thoughts. I knew I was sad. I knew I was depressed. I knew, certain things that weren't going my way, but I didn't really keep a track on the negative thinking that I was thinking. I didn't realize, I wasn't aware that I was causing more and more of this because I thought about it so strongly and so deeply, right? And you have to think like it is really your thinking. So regardless of what I'm going through, I will overcome this is the mindset that you have. I'm going to live like I'm not going to live like this forever. I'm not going to dwell on my past. The past is the past. Today is a new day. Use the one step at a time method. Don't think so far into the future. Have that vision of a powerful future and visualize it, but don't do it to the point where you're overwhelmed. Think about what's my next step. Okay, if you're trying to exercise, don't think about, oh, I have to go for a 30-minute walk or I got to do 30 minutes of cardio. Think about putting on your shoes, thinking about putting on your workout gear. That's way less overwhelming and less anxiety than thinking of a whole workout. That's why people don't do it. Or if you're thinking about getting healthy, think about how about tomorrow I'm going to add, a salad, or I'm going to add, just eat a little bit like 200 calories less. How about start like that? And then next week, just less and less and keep doing it, compound it over time. I lost so much weight just from using the compound effect, the one step at a time method, knowing that if I just subtract 200 to 400 calories a day than I'm usually eating, over time it'll work. And I started taking a product every day, one step at a time. And at the end of the year, I lost over 30 pounds, almost 40 pounds. Okay, that's the one step at a time method. Stop thinking about fast results. When I used to think of fast weight loss, I used to get overwhelmed and yo-yo diet. But when I just thought like, what if I just broke it down into 1 month at a time and over a year, it'll be a huge effect. So I was like, okay, so if I work with my weight loss, why don't I use it for my business? Okay, so I need to learn this, and this. Okay, I need to do this. Okay, I need to learn how to build a capture page. I'll do that today, one step at a time. Okay, tomorrow I'll learn this. Next week I'll learn that. Okay, let me put this into action. Okay, let me practice, maybe doing videos. Okay, I'm scared, but I'm just gonna use the computer screen, don't show my face, and keep doing that until I feel comfortable showing my face. And then, okay, the next day I'll do that. I wasn't really focused on like making so much money. I stopped focusing and I started thinking, okay, what do I need to talk about today that's gonna help somebody else? Okay, let me talk about my experience with reading Think and Grow Rich. Because if you're talking to, for example, network marketers, you know they need to do personal development and you know that most people are not. So if maybe you can just start talking about the books you're reading and the epiphanies you had. Okay, now I started to learn how to do, maybe build my audience. I started talking about, wow, guys, if you're online, you need to start building your audience. Here's some things I did, and now I added like 100, 200 friends today. I'm getting friend requests every day, and I think that you should try it too. If you want to learn more about what I'm doing, like get this product. It's going to show you how to build an entire business. Okay, maybe no one bit off of that. I'm building my audience. Now I have 5,000 friends. So many people are seeing me every day. I'm learning where do I need to post so people can want to see me. I'm learning what I need to talk about to attract people who buy things, who do things that I'm interested in too. And you start to shift and you start to compound it and think about 6 months, 12 months of just steady action every day. Okay, and you'll be so proud of yourself. That's how the successful people do it. And if you want to move faster, you just got to do more of what you learn. Okay. Stop digging up the past. Stop creating uncertainty. And I even have a weird feeling in my body because I know that I'm going to attract people who need this, and I'm going to repel people who are like tire kickers, who lazy, who don't want to do, who want to stay person B forever. And it is what it is. So imagine that you notice yourself 1 year ago, okay, 1 year from now, I'm sorry. Would you be happy or disappointed? Like if you can go into the future and or if you was to see yourself, so for example, you would go back and you saw yourself a year ago, what would you tell yourself? You can go into the past and say, if you can give yourself advice and say what you should have did, what would you tell yourself you should have did more of? Or if you can go into the future and you were to see yourself, what would you be happy or would you be disappointed because of the actions? Your actions on a daily basis is what creates your life. Your choices on a daily basis is what creates your life. You have to come to that realization that your life is your responsibility. And you really need to be honest with yourself. What would you tell yourself a year ago? Are you going to choose to take your own advice? You should really write it down. What would you tell yourself a year ago? Okay, knowing what you know now, what would you have done? And start doing it. And if you looked into the future, like, are you going to make that decision or are you going to repeat it? So, are the habits, actions, words, and people that you surround yourself with going to lead you to greatness, or will they keep you shackled to being average or being below average? If the answer is no, ask what would you do different. Okay. Then who ask yourself who should you surround yourself with? Who should you align yourself with so that you can reach your goals? What habits, what words, what actions do you need to change so that you can be proud of yourself 1 year from now? You really need to think about that. And I highly recommend that you go through the Miracle Social Media system, the upgraded version, the paid version, so you can know the real actions, get that daily method of operation. I wrote it down for my team the other day, and I gave them a slip of what I would do if I were to go back to where I first started so that they can get an idea of what it takes. And as you can see, the thinking of unsuccessful people and their successful people is their thinking. The difference between unsuccessful people, the people who are going to struggle their whole life, people who are just going to continue to repeat the year after year, and the people who are successful is their thinking, their actions, their words, and their beliefs. Combination of that. And whether or not they're going to decide to do one step at a time. 1% better every day. I'm telling you, you can completely change your life in 6 to 12 months. It comes by so fast. Like you'll look up 6 months from now and be like, whoa, have you ever went through a year and you were like, wow, this year went by fast? If you just get 1% better every day, it's going to happen so fast. You're going to be like, whoa, I'm a completely renewed, powerful person. And they do not let challenges stop them. Successful people do not let challenges stop them, and they do not blame others. They take responsibility. When I learned to take responsibility over my life, it changed. So, one more thing that I realized is that successful people are not always motivated, nor do they feel like doing certain things. They really gave me power because I thought that something was wrong with me because I was like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like working my business today. Like I worked my business yesterday. I should take a week off. I didn't feel like it. Like seriously, I'm just being honest with you. But I saw this video of this really successful guy, and he was saying like we don't feel like doing it either, And I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that they didn't feel like. I thought they just woke up, they were extra pumped up, excited all the time. I thought that they just felt like doing their business. I would see them taking massive action. I'm like, wow, they feel like doing. I don't feel like doing that. But what the thing that I realized is that they are not always motivated. They just do it anyway. They don't feel like doing the things, right? They do it anyway because they know it will lead to the results while others wish and hope. They do what others won't do so they can have what others won't have. They know this formula. They know this process. They know if they keep doing it, they're going to get the results. They don't care whether they feel like it or not. And they'll look at motivational things every day. And sometimes it'll motivate them, sometimes it won't. But either way, they decide that I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. So many, like I said, many top people, they won't tell you this because all they want to do is sell their course. And it's really not sexy. It's not like sexy to tell people it's a process, guys. You gotta work on yourself, you gotta work on your skills, but that's really the truth. They want you to think that life is just amazing and $1,000 days, 5,000 days, $10,000 days fall out of the sky from their PC or their phone. Like life is just laptop lifestyle. It's fell out of the sky, guys. This is so purely easy. You all you have to do is press a button. That's what they tell you. They don't let successful people don't let obstacles stop them from their challenge, or they don't let, and they understand challenges will come and they accept them, but they say, I'm stronger than these challenges. And a lot of problems honestly come from people forgetting who they are and wanting something and wanting a result or wanting a goal and not doing what's required is actually a form of self-hate. And it's a form of really not loving yourself enough to force yourself every day to do what you need to do. It's a form of self hate. And it really hurt my feelings when I heard that, because it was like, wow, I say I love myself. I thought I loved myself, but really, if you're in a relationship and the person is acting a certain way, but they telling you one thing, they telling you they're gonna do this for you and that for you, but they don't do it, that means that their words are not matching their actions. And it's the same thing with yourself. Are your words matching your actions? You say you want this, but you say you love yourself, but you're not doing things and actions every day that's gonna love yourself, or you stay in relationships that you don't need to stay in, or you hanging with people who you don't need to hang with. It's a form of self-hate, and it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. But understand who you are, and that you are a powerful source. You were created from the source of the Most High. When you remember that and you understand who you are, you begin to walk differently, you begin to talk differently, you begin to take action differently. But the people who have forgotten who they are, they start saying things that these disempowering things, because they don't remember, they forgot who they were. So if you feel like nothing is working out for you, ask yourself, am I thinking and doing things like the unsuccessful people, or am I doing what it takes? And then ask yourself, what should I do differently? And ask your mentor or whatever course you're taking, go through it and look at what you're doing, and then say, am I doing what this video says, or am I doing what my mentor told me to do, or am I doing something else? Okay, very, very important. Ask yourself, what should you tweak? The action taking is what creates results regardless. And even people who don't believe them in themselves, if you take action, that creates belief. Okay, your actions is what's going to create your results. So if you don't have the results that you want, just look at your action and ask yourself, am I climbing up the ladder every day? Okay, results can be getting a lead, results can be collecting emails, results can be setting up your capture page, results can be doing your first video, results can be all these things. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. If you're making process and you're generating leads every day, that's the main thing. Most successful people have literally went through some of the things that you've gone through, and some even worse. So no matter what you're going through, somebody is going to do something way worse than you, and a lot of them have overcome anyway. So will you decide to do what's necessary, or you want to keep living the life that you live? Today you have a choice to do things different. Forget that past. We don't care about the past anymore. It's over. It's done. Okay? All you have to do is make a decision and then do what's required. That's truly the answer and the real secret to success, guys. Okay? All you have to do, make a decision. Get mad. Make a decision. Get mad. Sometimes you do the most when you get mad, right? I've heard people say, you can't do this, you can't do this. You get pissed off, you just go ham. Sometimes you got to get mad. Like, look at your life, man. I've been trying to reach this goal. I've been trying to get this house. I've been trying to get this car for so long. I've been trying to provide for my family and hit these goals, and $3,000, $10,000 per month. And I keep saying it, but now it's time to actually do it. Do what it takes. Like, it's time. It's your time, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you took notes and understand the differences. And hopefully you decide to become the person who is the successful person and do what it takes, okay? All right, I will see you guys in the next video. And if you would like to get the upgraded version of this, where you really, really get deep into what it takes, the required actions, how to do the traffic, how all the successful people do all these things, then make sure you get back with the person who invited you, or click my link below, and you will see a bunch of bonuses that you will receive just for being an action taker. I will see you guys on the other side.